I'm particularly drawn to the Indian brand because of the styling. It took me 4 years to find a 1938 Chief basket case, and I found one in Portland, Maine in the US. I had that crated and shipped to Nevada. I went on a holiday up there with mates. We did the Great Race, and my ex-wife joined me at the end of the trip. I hadn't told her about my new purchase, and we were at dinner one night, and one of my mates asked me how I went loading the new bike onto the container, and yeah, divorce came through 12 months later. Hi, I'm Matt Willis. I'm a restorer, collector, and I've got a massive motorbike problem. It's a 1938 Chief, 74 cubic inch, weighs about 250 kilos. It's got a foot-operated clutch and a suicide shift for the gears. Like all Indians, it's got left-hand throttle and right-hand advance and retard. And you've got a clutch on this side, a brake this side, and another brake up there. So it's like you're a dancing puppet when you're riding it. There's a lot of one-year-only parts on a 38 Chief. They streamlined the bike that year with bigger tanks. They hid a lot of the wiring. It's the first year that they had a dash with the speedo and the amp meter, a buffalo switch for the ignition, and coloured head bonnet on the tank. The 38 Chief I finished in 2016, I think it was. We've won the Motorclassica, Concours de Elegance at the exhibition building. We've been through the AMCA judging program and got a winner's circle. Now it's just time to ride the bikes and not worry about whether it gets scratched. Just get out there and enjoy them. Ride them, not hide them. When I was a kid, I mucked around with cars and just taught myself. Not a particularly good mechanic, but I get by. You just ask questions and get people to help. Mick, my neighbour, I used to get stuck when I was starting the restoration of the 38, so I'd walk up to Mick and say, hey Mick, have a look at this and see if we can sort it out. So now we have a regular Tuesday night bike night where we turn the phones off, shut the shed door and muck around building bikes. So I built one for me, we built another one for him, and I'm building another one now for myself as well. Getting away on the bikes, it's an escape from everything because you're just focused on your riding and getting the bike ready, getting to the event or getting to the weekend away, and then just enjoying yourself with your mates. It's always good when you're riding antique motorcycles to either do it in a group or have another person with you, because that person will have different tools, different spares, and two heads are better than one when you're trying to solve a problem on the side of the road. Riding an Indian's great because you're not in a hurry to get anywhere. Generally, if the bike's sort of happy at 50 to 55 miles an hour, that means you've got time to have a look around at the scenery. You're riding a rigid bike, so it's got no suspension in the rear. For an old 82-year-old bike, it actually handles pretty well. It can get a bit scary when you dip it into a corner too hard and it scrapes the board. You've sort of got to stand up a bit. The controls on an Indian are opposite to those on a Harley. A lot of people say that they have left-hand throttle because they sold a lot of bikes to the police, and the police could ride the bikes still one-handed and shoot with their right. I don't know if that's really true or not. I think Indian have left-hand throttle because that's how they were right from day dot in 1902 or whenever they started. When I restore something, I like to restore it to the condition it was when it left the showroom floor. I find that part of the challenge. As a collector, you're always driven to try and find the next thing. I will always have a bike that I'm restoring. I can't see the time when I'll stop. I hope I'm still riding these when I'm 80, 90 years old if I live that long.